Welcome back to the WODprep podcast. I'm your host, CJ DePalma. Good morning, everybody. We're a little late today. I didn't have a lot of stuff, and I asked Claire, and she's like, "Well, I can join at 8," and so she's going to be a couple minutes late. So, um, so we started a little bit late. It's 8 instead of 7. It was good. I got some work done this morning. Wife's off work because it's Veterans Day, and yeah, we were able to get up and make shit happen. What's up, Kenneth? Good morning, Aaron. I like this time better. The only problem with this time, one is 9 times out of 10, I have Bennett, so I can't do this time. Because we have to get up at 8:30, so it limits it. That's the only reason why we don't do 8. And then it limits us to an hour. Not limits us, but you know, it's like, everyone will shift off and head to Savon at the hour mark. And if we're not done, that's annoying. It's just easier to do 7. Good morning. Good morning. Provisions Inc. Everyone's names are different. I hate this. What's up? Good morning, Vicky. I get my CEUs done. Yeah, so I just got them all booked. So I have a 15-hour course next weekend. And I'll do all of my non-contact hours during the course while I'm on it. So it'll all be done on the weekend, and then I'll get all 24 hours done at the same time. So yep. No, actually, here I got it, dude. Come on, was I up till 3 a.m.? I wasn't. But here, check this out. Check this shit. I just gotta show my recovery score. It's good for me. Let's see. Sleep score 83. BAM, which is solid. All right. Restorative. HRV 87 last night, so going back up. I've been tanking for the last few weeks. And I don't need extra sleep. You need a normal amount of sleep today, so all things are good. So, what's up, Gus? Provisions Inc. I know you're probably a name that I know in general, just not this one. What's up, Corey? Judy, good morning. Renata, DataWad. I don't know who this is. Oh, everyone's names are different. This is so annoying. What's up, Jeremy? Happy Veterans Day. Thank you. Well, I don't know why it would be to me. My family are veterans. My father, as you guys see my flag in my normal setup. I am going to do Chad pretty much like a couple hours after I get off the call. So we're going to do that today with zero goal except just finish it. The first couple years that I did Chad, I definitely had like the 55-minute or sub 60, whatever it was. I feel like I had a 55-minute goal, maybe even faster when I did it like the first time. But now it's not even. I don't even know. I don't care. We're just going to. Yeah, I'll do it with the ruck. I have the ruck in the back. So the ruck has 40 pounds in it, and then like all the towels and shit that are in there because it's kind of a shitty ruck. Is right at 45 pounds. So maybe I don't think I was ever sub 50s really fast. I remember doing it on Thanksgiving Day. The whole family was over or coming over, and some had stayed the night, and I just got up early. This was like COVID maybe. And so it was like the first time that we had really done it. Like we hadn't done it before that, maybe even 2019. And I just went out and I put it in the bag, and I just did it in the garage, like it was before it was really big and popular. Data Wad, Holly, cool. Yeah, I think the extra sloppy, I think that's where I'm going to be. I think I'm going to be at like the 68-minute mark or something. Data Wad, best stats and graphics in the game. Awesome. Maybe we'll have to link up. I need someone to help me make thumbnails. Holly, do you do thumbnails? I need someone to help me make some thumbnails, or at least improve my thumbnail game. Am I sore days later. No, I don't really get sore. My ankles will probably be sore. My calves won't be sore. I run a lot, so I don't think I will be. My only problem now is though, um, I'm just wearing Savage ones, so I'm gonna do it in those, which I think will be fine. Um, but I'm just like, I think that's it. So yeah, it'll be fun. It'll be a good time. I enjoy Chad. Um, Sweet. Well, Holly, message me on Instagram, CJ or the Movement Doctor, and maybe we can work something out. Um, I'd love a little bit of help. Um, yeah, but they're fucking gay. Like they're not good. They suck. I don't know. I've tried it once, but I'll try it maybe a little bit more now. Um, I always want to work you out, Gus. Gus, are you gonna do Chad? Gus will do Chad in like 40 minutes or some crazy shit like that. Gus tells me he's not fit, and then he takes an EMOM and he does them all in 20 seconds every round for 40 minutes. And he's like, "Oh, I'm really fat." Shut the fuck up, dude. You're so full of shit. Um, but yeah, Holly, for sure message me. Kenneth, groin and knee. Dude, niggles is for sure the funniest and greatest word for people to use on a regular basis. Cracks me up. I work with a lot of European athletes and just like coworkers and things, and it's just so prevalent. It just cracks me up. That and ta. Um, so this is an interest. Um, this is a very like John Young way to try to, I don't know, do something. I don't have double unders, so I've been doing burpees and chronos rope, which is, I don't even understand how those two things are relevant, before work, and my calves have been screaming at me. The chronos rope is stupid. It doesn't translate into anything, by the way. Like it's so unique and so specific that it's a stupid rope. I love Dave and RX Smart Gear, but that rope is dumb. Doesn't make any sense. It will not translate into a double under. You should take the WODprep double under course because the WODprep double under course fucking works. Ask Jenna Haka. Ask probably 10 people that watch this show regularly. Anyways, quit after 15 minutes. Had Fran Lung the rest of the night. Oh, or you must, I mean, for you to get your heart rate up that high, you got to be really trying to move. Because I mean, I don't even plan for my heart rate to get like in the 160s. Let's see. Oh, I know all these workouts. I just can't think of the name of them. Lumberjack 20. Um, I think I've done this. Oh yeah, I have done this one. The 20-400. It's a good one. Dumbbell squat clean. What a weird dumbbell squat clean. I like dumbbell. Boom. See, perfect. Ben created the penguin clap, and I'll die on that hill. Doing Bert. Let's see, Bert CrossFit. I've done these all. I just can't remember Bert. 50. That's a long workout. 50 burpees, 400 meters, walking lunge. Let's get this open. Get these down. Here we go. All right, so we'll share so everyone knows what it is. Whoops. Here we go. Bert. It's a tough one. Here's Bert. 50 burpees, 400-meter run, 100 push-ups. Run, lunge, run, squat, run, lunge, run, push-up, run, burpee. That's a good one. I like that one a lot. Judy, that's a good question. I'll come back to it. Let's see. There was one more that I wanted to look up. Morrison. That's right. $50 wall ball. Ugh. Oh my God. That's such a back beat down. Oh my God. That workout's rough. Where do we go here? I would definitely rather do Chad for sure. Ugh. This combo is going to be just so grindy and slow. I mean, that's still going to take like fucking 25 minutes. Ugh. Ouch. I don't like that combo. It's all front loaded. That back blow up is going to be huge. You have the wall balls, anti flexion, the box jumps, anti flexion with some hip hinging. And then you have the kettlebell swing. Woof. That's a rough one. All right. And then I don't even know what this means. Oh, to add a little weight. That's an interesting one. I mean, the Chronos rope is too heavy. Like, there's a point. Oh God, Larry, dude, Larry, your excuse counter has to be in the thousands. Being fit has nothing to do with being able to do a double under. It's a skill. It's not a fitness thing. It's not like running a mile, but you just keep telling yourself whatever you got to tell yourself. What do we modify in place? So it just depends. Usually we just like change it to like a aerobic component. Ski is like the best because it's the most like upper body dominant, but row is fine. The only problem with row is there's a transition time that takes longer than like the ski or the bike, but an air bike works as well. Arms only assault bike works really nicely too, right? So you can just assume whatever the time of the double under work is. So if it's 30 or 50 reps or something like that, you just cut it in half. And that's usually like the assumed time frame it's going to take. So if it's 50 reps, you would do 25 seconds on the bike at a hard effort, or you can do like a set number of calories, like 5 or 6, or if it's arms only, like 3 or 4, or something like that would be the modification for that. And then obviously making sure you're doing all the things that are trying to get you back to jumping, calf raises, toe walks, heel walks, etc. Yeah, Bert's a tough one. Cool. Chad ish weighted step ups, 10 row. I mean, that's not even anywhere near Chad. It's like a tenth of Chad. Not even. Yeah, I agree, guys. I was pretty unsure what you were saying. Yeah, we just usually like WODprep teaches like we have like a 3 rope system where it's like your speed rope, um, uh, a speed rope, like your normal rope, and then like a heavier rope, which would be sort of like maybe a 1 or 2 ounce heavier. Vested Bert. Nice. Whatever you say, buddy. Larry, whatever it is, homie. Yeah, true. That's interesting. Good thought. Um, cool. Well, we're gonna run that in a little bit. I wonder if Claire's joining. She said she was. Um, go live. I thought about doing Chad and like just putting my headphones in and then being live, and having someone else like do the thing. Um, Claire just passed her L3. Um, The only problem with getting the group live is you need someone to like manage the screen because you can't see anything. So someone needs to manage the screen and ask questions and talk to people and like mute and mute and unmute everybody. And so that's like the only challenge. But yeah, it's definitely possible. Moderate. There you go. Need a moderator. TV, Vicky. Anyways, so what's happening in the CrossFit space? Syndicate released their thing, how to qualify. And it's just going to be such a shit show. I think it's just going to be such a shit show. Make sure we're not sharing. That would be sad. Travis and JY. Travis got married, and like he just like, so we brought him on to, I reached out to him after he did the spin cast 2 years ago, like in 2024, like leading into like in the semifinals, and then he's a firefighter, and he had this like big schedule, like this open schedule, and then all of a sudden his schedule just like wasn't open. Like we would try and do like an afternoon show, and if it was before or like after like 5:30, he was like, "I'm sleeping." I'm like, "What?" I was like, "It's 7 o'clock," and then he couldn't do the mornings, and so he could only do a midday. But then his schedule just got really, really, really busy, and then he just couldn't do anything. And then it was really hard to schedule between us three because like my free time is usually John's nap time. And so, but he seems to watch every now and then. And then I think he just like, he really fell out of love with the sport, like on the back end, of like putting effort into it. He didn't train anymore. And so I think that's kind of where it went. So Syndicate, how do you spell Syndicate? Syndicate Crown. Here we go. Syndicate Crown posts there how to qualify. And so, oh, whoops. I think yeah, John's nap time. The kid naps like that guy naps like every day for like a couple hours. I don't know if he does anymore, but he definitely did then. Like every day. But I don't know. Not my thing to judge. So here we go again. This is so there's going to be 40 people at Syndicate, and 20 are just games athletes, which will be basically the top 20. So it'll be sort of here. They'll basically invite all 2025 games athletes, which probably about 20 will accept. And then the next 20. So the 20 that accept will be pretty much your top 20 in the world from the quarterfinals. And then your next 20 will be invited. And so this is the problem, is it's going to be the same 20 people that get invited to Legends. It's going to be the same 20 people that get invited to Mayhem and French. Well, no, French is doing European only, which is probably a good thing, to be honest. But I just don't understand. I don't understand how the same 20 to 35 people or 20 to 40 people are going to be invited the entire time to every single semifinal. What are the hidden comments? Let's see what this says. Oh, that's not a bad take. Inviting from last year's games athletes. Hmm. I mean, it's not the worst take. I think it's kind of part of the process until like besides like maybe the game's winner, I mean, the top athletes already have an advantage. Uh the top athletes already have a hello.
Hi.
What's up?
Do you want to let me know what you think about this audio video? Is this acceptable?
Yeah, it's great. Your
Let's
audio's
go.
fantastic. Um
I'm,
yeah, so
you're really
uh
loud, so I'm going to turn it down for me.
okay.
But anyway.
So we were just talking about syndicate and the invites, and then someone mentioned that every year it should restart. Like basically, they're inviting 20 of the last games athletes, and so um, initially I'm like, oh, they should get it, but I think the games athletes and your top 20 or 30 athletes in the world already have such a big advantage because of money and sponsors, and so I think giving
Okay.
them a
Oh, okay. Explain to me that again. So you're saying that they're inviting the who exactly?
so basically 20 games athletes last year get an invite no matter like basically all they have to do is finish top 2000 in quarterfinals, so like they don't need to be in the top 20, so like they're going to get an invite even if they have a shitty quarterfinals, and then 20 more are going to come from quarterfinals placements. And so a comment said a lot can happen in a year. This business of inviting people from a year ago is nuts. Want to compete again, restart the process. And so CrossFit used to invite the games winner back in like 11, 12, whatever, early on, and or even maybe before that. Um, and so um, I was like, well, maybe someone should get invited, maybe just the games winner, but it does make sense, especially if this is like the season is becoming so extended that anyone that gets a bye basically is going to have such a big advantage. And um and I think the games athletes, like your perennial games athletes, already have such a big advantage because of basically they're professional, like they're full-time athletes, right? Like they're not doing anything else and all these things. And I think you would create an even bigger gap. Like if you started to give them less things to train for and focus for. It's like, oh, they don't need to be ready in March. They just need to be ready in May now, right?
Yeah.
As in, like
Yeah.
everyone else needs to be ready in March and then to do multiple things and, blah, 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 blah. And so, um, I mean, I don't know. I think we're going to really, really run into some problems. Like, I just keep coming back to this. We'll find out in the next 2 months, but it's going to be an issue because now 20 get invited, 20 from the games, and then 20 more people get invited. It's going to be the same 20 that get invited to Del Mar, or same 30, and the
Well, and
fields are going to be identical.
we also still don't know the details about if they're going to put any sort of parameters around whether or not you can just indefinitely sign up, right? Like they could still say, yeah, sure, we're going to invite, but you're only allowed to accept one invite or two invites or something like that. That's possible, right?
Yeah. I mean, it definitely is possible, but because the rules are coming out, I don't think CrossFit would have allowed the rule. Like they're not going to walk it. That's one thing CrossFit never does is they never walk it back once it's out there, right? Hardly ever. You never see them like, oh, we're going to change these rules now that they're out there, even though, like it's clear that it's come out and it's like, oh, that probably didn't work out that well.
Mm. It's tough too because I like for whatever reason I think about the time horizon of it. So like say for example that 20 invites to the previous years, like it's just changing how you go about earning your spot, Like I like the idea of each year new clean slate, etc. But then you could flip it and say that we like that because we're used to it. And also then if it just, if we settled into an experience of like, oh, and this is going to impact your next year, it's kind of I mean, I guess you could draw some sort of parallel to like the way that the WFP works as far as like the
Right.
the qualification process for the next year. Like we would then flex to that. And I see what you're saying about advantages given to the currently elite, but like at some point, like um the the field will continue to shift, right? Because the current top will eventually, for whatever reason, whether it's their performance goes down, they get other focuses in life, you name it, they retire because they want to or they need to. Then I mean those new spots will be created in one way or another. This is just a potentially different way. So for right now, it's unsettling.
Right. Yeah, and so I mean, again, it's I just like I think the field I want to see as many people as possible at semifinals to get the best there and not just the same 40 everywhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because like there's a really good chance that we just see the same 50 people in some permutation of that over 4 or 5 semifinals
Yeah. It's
in
only
person.
2 spots per semifinal. If all 20 games athletes show up, most will still miss out.
Right,
Okay,
exactly.
so yeah, who qualifies? Yeah.
Yeah, and so I'm not worried about who qualifies from it. Those 2 people are gonna be the
Right.
right 2 people, right? That's
Right.
not the point I'm talking about. We're looking at, like, closer, not even down the stream, up the stream some, right, of, like, who is actually gonna go to these semifinals, and it's gone from roughly, your top 400 people in the world to 300 to 200 to somewhere in the 200 to 250 range. Um, and if every semifinal is inviting the top 40 and then they're going to backfill, that number is only going to get to like 100, maybe,
Yeah.
right? If even less, right? And then I was chatting with Tristan. Tristan is my like coaching buddy behind the background, and we talk a
Yeah,
lot
he's your
now. And
bestie.
my bestie, and and it's even more so of like, okay, it's going to end up being geographically beneficial to be near somewhere, even if you didn't get invited, because the odds are someone's going to pull out last minute and they're going to start to backfill like within the 24 to 4. Like I see it as in like Saturday or like Wednesday, Thursday, Friday before an event kind of thing. Like people are going to be pulling out last minute because they're like, oh, I don't feel good. Oh, I'm not going to make it now. And so that's even more than the initial. Like that's where I'm just totally unsure how it's going to flow because
Yeah. Well, it's another year of change, which is what we
Mhm.
are so accustomed to and yet have to adapt with, and if we look at the adaptations that occurred from last year to this year, how they moved the last chance qualifier, the online qualification process towards the end of this, the qualification process itself. Like they did make positive adjustments. And so this is clearly just showing signs of like this could be another year where there's a steep learning curve. And then still, even from this, just because like there's so much that you said like they don't have a tendency to walk things back, but they could continue to refine it, and that wouldn't necessarily
Mhm.
be a walking it back as much as it's a we thought about this a little bit more and we're going to put a little bit more
Governor on it, control.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, I mean, who knows, right? It's all, I mean, I know that's what we do, right? But it's all speculative.
right. Um, Vicky asks, why do people always say it's the XYZ comp? They can do what they want about other comps, but not about the game's qualifying process. Um, 2 things. The games does do what they want, but the whole point of what we do is to criticize and review and do that, which we do with other competitions. But the other competitions are just the winner of that comp. They're not claiming fittest on earth. And so when you have this tagline, you're trying to get to this point, there has to be more, I guess, scrutiny behind that concept just in general, right? Like it's
Hmm.
more important. And to find the fittest on earth, you need to have all the right people in competition to have the opportunity to get there. And so I think based on where we're at right now, if the way these invites are going, you're only going to see the top 50 or 60 in the world from quarterfinals, you're for sure going to miss out on someone that is probably a games athlete just because they had a bad week. Like quarterfinals becomes basically what regionals used to be, except worldwide and not just like in your region. And so now it goes back to the other thing, and it's just part of the sport, but it still deserves scrutiny and discussion, right? I
Hmm.
think that's just
Hmm.
it. I mean, we'll be happy with a great game season, and it will be fine in general. But I just
Yeah.
foresee a lot of challenges arising um, with it, right? Just like every year, I think every year has the same thing. Um, and I'm for sure in a biased position just because like of where my athlete is, like it affects her a lot. So,
Yep. Yep.
um,
Yeah, and Judy said how many people, sorry, I can't pull up comments, but how many people make it out of
um,
online?
8,
Yeah.
8 or
Oh,
11
yeah.
or something like that. Let me see. No, it's not 11. It's less. Mhm.
Also extra sloppy. Dave's response to criticism is
Yeah, it
holistic to
is,
this person.
and that's the worst. It's the worst one. Like it's totally
Oh.
unacceptable.
I think if we yet again, maybe I'm just in a, well, when am I not in an optimistic mood, let's be honest, but it does happen anyway, but like
7. Sorry, 7.
uh
7 individuals from men and
okay.
women.
Yeah. We've made a lot of, I think, positive strides with this structure in a very, like, let's keep in mind that this format is literally on its second year, you know?
Mhm.
And so the adjustments from year one to year two of this current format were wildly positive. And now we're uncovering 14 more things to want to say, hey, but wait, think about this, you know? Um,
Yep.
yeah, I don't know. I agree about the whole, like, maybe that's Dave's response, but it clearly, even if that is his response, it clearly influences it in a positive direction, or at least we saw that occur from last year to this year of all of that scrutiny, criticism, questioning, whatever. It did cause some changes to go in a good direction, and now we have a new set of things to take a look at and do the exact same thing with to hopefully refine it again further. But the cost is something like, it's possible that this calendar year, this season is, I guess, what sounds like harder than ever for any bubble athlete to make it to the top.
Well, I think, and so to Vicky's point, it does say 2 paths, right? And so that's not the how they're doing it is fine. Quarterfinals, it puts a lot of weight there, right? And there will be, because there always is, there will be 5 or 7 people that are like that, just the workouts play really, really well to, right? Like those quarterfinal workouts. And then that's going to allow them to be in person over someone even like a Patrick Vellner, right? Like a great example. Like he's not the best online tester anymore, right? Speed and so, like depending on like sort of what we see, right? Like a James Sprague, you know, like there's a chance that James, because there's so many people doing it, if there's like a huge burpee volume, burpee overhead squats, right? Like just based on that, they'll find their
Yep.
way into a semifinal, obviously, or they'll do on the online and then, or like the semi online. But because of the way that it is, if they're not in the top 20, or 30, they're not going to be guaranteed an invite to Legends Del Mar, right? If we're just thinking of like James, Dallin, and Justin, right?
Mm,
And being in the top 20 or 30 in quarterfinals, really, because there's 2,000 people or 5,000 people going to do it, or 20,000 people depending on what it is, because that is so big, like we're going to see people totally miss out. But um uh so anyways, it's
mm.
just going to be, it's cold in the gym doesn't have heat. Well, it does, but just
Is
not
that where you
not a
are
lot.
right now?
Yeah, I'm in the gym.
We're
um
both. I mean, I'm just outside the gym, so we're
yeah.
we're just
hmm are you
getting
doing are you doing
bootstrapping it.
are you doing Chad today?
Oh gosh, I'm afraid I am. Yeah,
I'm doing it in a
I
couple hours. We
say
were
I
talking
say
about
it
it before
that
we got
way.
on.
What were you guys talking about?
We were talking about like hero workouts. I'm doing it in a couple hours.
Yeah, same. It is one that I'm obviously really grateful that we as a community come together for the reasons that we come together, and it's actually, I guess it's kind of nice because I look at that on paper and I'm like, I don't want to deal with that. Like I've done it a few times and it screws you up, you know? And so not in any sort of like true injury way, but just like a few days of whatever hip flexors want to fall off or
Does it?
whatever, you know? I mean, at least for me last year, but it hasn't always been the same soreness each year either. So like yes, there's always soreness with it, but I mean, it's just a slog and it's just knowing the next couple of days. I mean, I guess we'll find out because we can talk Friday about how we felt following it.
Right.
But I think that last time I did it, if I recall, it was of course a good bit of quad soreness, but a lot of hip flexors were just in pain for the next couple of days. So
Yep.
we'll see this year if that's the case. And it'll be interesting too with the whopping mile or whatever that I do every day, but like to see what tomorrow's
Mhm.
mile feels like.
Wow.
But yeah,
10,
yeah. And
10:30. Should brisk walk.
yeah, seriously. I mean, the nice thing is like with the parameters I've set for that, like that's fine.
Right.
But anyway, yes, so doing that, not looking forward to it for those reasons, but also very grateful that we as a community take a moment to like pause and acknowledge the holiday that it is and why we do that thing. And of course that reminds me of the workout Rawson, you know, that's the gentleman that introduced me to CrossFit. As far as the local affiliate, like he's the one who
Mhm.
pulled me in, right? And so I'd already been watching online, but anyway, he passed away due to his battle with mental health. And so we have an annual workout that we do to celebrate his life. And that always means a lot. And the premise of it is definitely, you know, you carry a wall ball the whole time and you split the
Right.
work. And so it's like you share the load, you know. That
Right.
stuff is it's really special that we do that. So yeah.
Do does Kevin and them do that workout?
Yeah.
Do they? Hmm.
Yeah. He was a member at Kevin's
Yeah,
affiliate.
no, I know the story.
Yeah. I'm
Um, I
looking.
didn't I didn't realize there was a workout. Um, but yeah, Kevin's told me that that whole night with him and um Casey. That's a crazy story.
Oh, what's a crazy story? The story with Rawson?
Yeah, when Kevin and Casey like they're I don't know. I mean, I assume you know like all of that aspect of it, but like they were together traveling for something and they just felt like they needed to call him and they like talked to him that night or like couldn't get a hold like it was like it woke them up out of a sleep. That's how they found out. And yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways,
When
um,
I messaged with him the day prior too, because I just fell off as well.
yeah, I think Kevin and Kevin said that they hadn't talked to him in a little while. Like he was like on an off, he was on off, he was on an off, and
Yep.
Casey woke up like in the middle of the night in the hotel room. Was like, "Hey, we need to call Rawson," just
Wow.
like out of
I did
nowhere.
not know that.
Oh,
I didn't know
really?
that. Mm-mm.
Um, yeah, um, yeah. It's like a
So
goosebump. It's like a goosebump story for sure.
this in and of itself is a reminder to just like, you know of people in your life that are struggling. And anyway, it's just it's always a good idea to love on your people a little bit extra.
100%.
And so who could you do that with? You know, I'm thinking about that to self, you know, who can I do that
Mhm.
with today?
Right. Um,
Um,
oh yeah. So
what's I have a couple
switching
of
topics. Okay, go ahead.
uh-huh. Well, let's see here. Oh, I have to point this out. I can't pull up comments. I'm sorry, but Sean said I couldn't figure out why Claire's man was so hyped for leaning backwards on his toes until I tried it. Pretty sure I broke both feet. That just is funny. And yeah, did you see I reposted it's a I think a feed post of his that you can go look at. It's like comparing last year his knee surgery to like some of the athletic pursuits he's doing today. And one of them was this crazy stretch on the I mean like did you see it?
I'll have to look it up.
He's just in. I guess you could pull it up. Yeah, he's in a kneeling position, and engages his glutes and has full hip extension and leans all the way back, makes contact with the ground with his head, and then
Oh,
comes
it
back
comes back
upright
up.
without hinging at the
Yeah,
handle.
without
Yeah,
hinging. I've seen people do that before. We actually had a uh like I know what you're talking about. Charlie, maybe Charlie. One of
yeah,
someone in
Nordic
WODprep
curl,
was
Kenneth,
like,
and Nordic core, Nordic curl. Yeah,
yeah, Nordic curl. Yeah, basically.
yeah,
Or it's a reverse Nordic. Um,
yeah,
uh, and we like did it was like maybe during COVID or like the end of COVID, and so like all the challenges were going around, and it was like try to do like an unsupported Nordic to the ground, or like um, and I couldn't even get halfway down.
yeah,
Um, and even if I could, like I think I could get back up, but like my quad, like I just don't have that like that quad flexibility and hip flexor flexibility. Like it's not even
yeah,
close.
yeah. Feel free to pull it up.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
Yeah, it
Um,
is. It's cool. I think that one of the things that he does exceptionally well is showcases movements that people really think nothing of, or he's great about doing things very lightly loaded or with body weight with the amount of tension that he can create and how challenging the movement then becomes. And so I think he as like a big strong guy makes it like look cool to be like, hey, actually these things are really elite and look, there's no weight on it whatsoever. You know, this is just anyway, yeah. So he's happy about that, of course, because the knee flexion and all of the strength and so on returning. Yeah. Anyway,
why did he choose to do like toes bent and not flat footed? Probably a
yeah. I
question
don't
for
know.
him.
I'm assuming that that's what he's comparing, like his whatever what that he could do before surgery. That
Mhm,
must have been the position that he was in. But as far
mhm.
as why he, I would have to ask him that question. I don't know. I
Yeah,
hear
it's
you, and I know he does a lot of. Obviously, there's the Nordic curl piece of equipment, and he does a
mhm,
lot of work with that as well. And he has a really cool like banded variation. It's like you have. I compare it to like a Jimmy Neutron, like with the jetpack, because
mhm.
you put the straps around like your shoulders anyway, and
Yep.
it's really hard, but it's a great variation to be able to progress to a Nordic curl.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, Nora curls are the shit. One of my
yeah,
faves. It's hard to
they're cool.
program them in the gym, though.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, getting somebody to be able to let or to put the right amount of, that's I mean, so much of programming, right, is like getting the athlete to put forth the appropriate intensity that you're seeking or whatever, and not just like checking the boxes. And so even with a
mhm.
Nordic curl, like you could do one and or do program that and then have the athlete not be able to execute it at the level that you were seeking, especially remotely.
Right. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's a good one though. The research on it is crazy on like hamstring strain and tear reduction. That's really cool.
Yep.
Um, Anywho,
And
so
I'm going to say
congrats.
one more thing because
Right.
I have to brag on him one more time just because it's really cool and he'll never do it himself. And he had his first match on an AEW show on Saturday,
Cool.
which was yeah, so that's really cool. Anyway, he's not a signed talent of theirs or anything like that, but that's a big thing that they wound up like he was there as an extra and they wound up putting him in a match. That's a good
Nice.
step. So
So
yeah.
so so I it's obviously like it is what it is. So like does he go in with um like he's gonna lose at this time frame? Like how scripted, how far does it get?
I think it's very individualized. Last time you asked this, you informed me that I don't say these things anymore. So I have no idea. I mean, they don't know. What do you mean scripted?
Oh. I love it.
It's all
Um,
real.
it's all real. That's right.
Yeah.
That's cool. So did he win?
Yeah.
There's a question.
Uh, yeah, Kenneth, it was on Collision. Absolutely not. No, it was against Sign Talent. No.
Huh. Oh.
No.
Right. And signed talent is just inherently better than unsigned talent.
I mean, I wouldn't agree with that statement, but that's my opinion.
Huh. So, um, well
It's Jimmy. Of course it's not better.
right. Then why didn't he win? Um, all right.
Yeah, enough about not CrossFit. Sorry.
No, that's cool. Were we not talking about CrossFit? Oh, did someone complain?
No,
Um,
no, no,
oh
no.
no, it's just Larry in the comments saying that he can't build cardio like his son, or get better at the things. Larry's this is it. This is my analogy. Larry's inability to believe that he can do a double under or build cardio is 100% the same as John's inability to eat healthy food.
So it's just a mental block. It's not
It,
reality.
it's not reality. All right. Next, congratulations on your L3.
Yeah, thank
Awesome.
you. Yeah.
Yep. Awesome
It
work.
was
Congrats.
it was really hard. I was like maybe a quarter of the way through the test. I'm like, I have absolutely no idea how this is gonna go.
That's
And
funny.
then you still sit there for multiple hours and do the best that you can. And so yeah, I already like posted about it, that the amount of relief that I got to experience when I saw the word pass was on a
Yeah.
whole other level.
Yeah,
I was like,
definitely.
please don't make me do this again.
Um, what was so so you go through like so you go through and you can like answer, move on, or answer and like check to review, right?
Mhm.
How many did you click for review? Like how what's your test taking process?
Yeah, so let's also just go with the fact that um, I went to Jeff said, so proud of you. Thank you very much. I didn't really go
Mhm,
to high school much. And
mhm.
then I took a few concurrent college classes while I was in high school, but that was about it. And then I didn't. So, formal education systems, what is it called? What is that style of test?
Standardized test.
Standardized, yeah, standardized testing. Of course, I did some of that right through high school, but I've not been a traditional education method person, and so I don't know that I could even say like I have one specific way that I go about it. But in this case, what I did do is just I went in trusting that I've been studying this for a long time, even if the study time that I specifically devoted to it via reading back through the level one, the level two, and journal material, etc., like wasn't a long time horizon for me personally, but I've been paying attention for a long time, been around for a long time. So I kind of leaned heavy on that, and then going in, and I wouldn't necessarily encourage that, like spending really, more time studying. I would encourage that because it is a crazy hard test. But yeah, I flagged a few, probably less than 5. And then by the time I got to the review of the flagging, I did not review it. I just clicked submit.
Oh, nice.
So I
I
was just like, I'm not second guessing anything. I clicked the answer at the moment that felt like it was the most appropriate. And then that's going to be that. That's what I'm going with.
um I think I flagged. I'm a very um like fat like I won't spend more than a minute on a question at any point in time. If I do, like I flag it immediately and move on.
Okay.
And so I flagged, I don't know, like 30 maybe. Like I'd answer it flat, like if I wasn't 100% sure, I'd flag it and just move on. Um and then come back to it. And then the second time through, I think I left like 3, and I think I only changed like 3 questions total from my initial answer, like over all of that. Um um and uh um and so it was yeah, I mean, I've taken a lot of standardized tests, right? Like a lot.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
so, but it's been, what year is it? It's been 10 years. I've taken tests in
Mm-hmm.
10 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like almost to the, oh, it's 9 years. Um, uh, it's been 9, it'll be 9, it was 9 years in August or October, so a month ago. I mean, literally since the last time I sat down for any type of test at all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, it was definitely nerve-wracking for sure. But it was fine. It was good.
It did you experience the sensation of relief?
When I passed?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, for sure, because I hadn't taken a test in forever.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Um,
I definitely, it's funny because okay, so we did sign an NDA, and I'm like, I should have read through that more thoroughly because I want to talk more about it, but I want to be respectful, of course, to what you can and cannot say. But I
mhm,
definitely think that what I can say is that I already knew that I respected it a lot, right? I think that the owner of my affiliate, I think he said something like less than 1% of coaches of CrossFit coaches actually like go through with taking the level 3. And so even with and so that's, I mean, it's a, I had a high level of respect for it, but then going in and taking it, like the depth at which you are expected to understand a very broad range of things
mm,
is uh I have more respect for it now. And then also just literally it's so I mean anybody who doesn't ever go back through the literature and read it, like if you ever took your level one, it's so much information. It's so much information. And there's so much gold in there. But like when you're in your level one, you are going through it so fast, right?
mhm,
And then if you just move along, you did your L1, yay. Like we still have these free manuals that all of us can access. Like even if you never took it, like you can still go download the thing and read it yourself. So anyone listening
yep,
to this can. And it is so special to me to be able to go back through, reread through, pick up new things. I thought one of the crazy things was like the amount of education around like masters athletes and how to navigate that. For like, I was looking at it and just kind of really appreciating how much I feel that what you do with your athletes is so in alignment with what CrossFit teaches. And so that was really cool. There were just so many times where I was just like, man, understanding this methodology at a deeper level gives you even more appreciation for it.
yeah, I mean, you said it amazingly. It is the amount of information and free education that we have in this space is bonkers. Like the L1 is deep. Like it's a lot of information, right? Like it's
Yeah,
200 and whatever it is, 200 and
38 or
something pages.
83. It's a
Yeah,
lot.
one
Yeah.
of those, almost 300 pages, I think.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's really like 180 pages of like dense stuff, right? And then it goes into pictures and like the movement, cueing and correcting and faults. But a good portion of it is just paragraph based, just like information and not bulleted, just like dense stuff. And it's a lot. It's good. I enjoy going through it. But I am definitely happy to not have to take that test again. Um,
Yeah.
so yeah,
Yeah,
it was
now
good.
you just have to do all of your CEUs to upkeep it. No
Right.
pressure.
Sorry.
Also, I feel like I keep so the way that this since I'm in my car, I'm like bopping over to the comments and then coming back to the screen, and it looks like we are having a
Oh,
nice little
nice,
debate
nice.
about zone two
Zone
training
two
in the
argument. Yeah.
comments.
So we'll lay it to rest really quick. Zone two is great for people with time, and it is not the most effective way if you don't have time. Okay. So,
And when you say
um,
time, could you give a specific amount of hours per week that you believe that zone two would then become
if you,
a worthwhile pursuit?
after you do your 60 minutes, 5 classes a week, and you still have another 5 hours a week, then you can have some benefit. And even then, it's on the low end, right?
And
So a
zone
whole,
two then is 60 to 70% of max heart rate, right?
um, I mean, yes, it just depends on like what you're looking at. But yeah, for like a very general look at it, yes. But
So from a rate of perceived exertion, it would be like a long duration of training that like doesn't feel easy but doesn't feel hard.
right, it's supposed to basically be work that doesn't create fatigue. That's the
Yeah.
whole concept of zone two, right? You're staying under the threshold that will create muscle breakdown, CNS fatigue, um, uh, and so the challenges with zone two is if your goal is just to improve general fitness, all work of anything will move that needle some. Doesn't matter, right? Very similar to any input into pain and improvements in sensory are good. Even if it's pixie dust, if you believe it'll work, right? So if the no, it's not. This is incorrect, Avera. This is not accurate. You don't need 5 hours to do zone two. 1 day of active recovery workout. It is this is now. I'm not saying that this day of active recovery is not beneficial. It's
I
fine,
would
but
agree that I would agree with the back half of that statement. 1 day of active recovery, for a CrossFit athlete's great. Yeah.
it's fine. But you are not improving capillary density. You are not improving your fitness needle. And most of the time, the people that do this, they don't stay in a zone. It's also almost impossible to stay in zone two when
Yeah.
running. This is what people don't realize either, right? Like if you're running, unless you are in like with humility, I am a very capable zone two runner for a long period of time. I can keep my heart rate in the 120s and run. Most people in these comments and most people in
I do
CrossFit,
not.
right? It's not even a like the ruck would take them out of a zone two truly, right? Like just a ruck will take a lot of people out of zone two. And so the problem is it's the time, right? And if the bang for your buck, if you are going to spend that day on active recovery, it certainly doesn't do that, right? Like let's just be clear. I just want to make it clear that there's no point of running where you are actually theoretically recovering the body. The body is still
Well,
breaking down because it's a muscle contraction with eccentric
sure.
loading.
So then you could be zone two on a station like a concept two bike erg. You could be on one of those in a zone two zone, and then you are no longer dealing with as much um like pressure on the joints and all of that stuff that would
Correct.
be causing fatigue. And so that then could still be zone two, technically, according to heart rate, and still a positive recovery thing. Although, like, yeah, on your active recovery day, like walking at a super whatever pace would probably be the best activity you could do and the extent of it if you're truly trying to do a recovery day, right? Is that safe to say? Obviously, stretching and other things like that, whatever. But yeah.
Um, right. And so I think zone two just isn't the bang for the buck, right? I
Yeah.
don't think you're going to move the fitness needle doing 1 hour on your recovery day. If you like to do it, do it. but I don't assume that the fitness needle is being progressed. Most of the time, if anything, like a full rest is going to move that needle better.
Right.
But I don't think it's beneficial. I don't think it's beneficial for the person that wants to be better at CrossFit either, right? Like the bang for
Right.
your buck, and the translation from zone 2 to high intensity anaerobic, like lactate threshold stuff is so far. It's so far,
You know
right?
who would be a fun person to have a conversation, and of course he would speak at length, to say the least, but to talk to about this for your everyday athlete that isn't
Mhm.
actually competing in sport, that requires this level of aerobic capacity, would literally be Mr. Aerobic Capacity, Chris, you know?
He talked about it on the show. We talked about this. He said it's dumb. He said he didn't like it.
Yeah.
I mean, he's. I
Okay,
mean,
there you go.
I mean, he said it. He said it on the show. He was like, ah. He's like, that doesn't make any sense.
Yep.
Like, because you're never gonna, like there's just like it's just so far downstream of like where the sport is and like what the demands of the sport are
Yep.
versus like what it's actually doing, right? Um, so
Sean says, "Look, guys, I can run there it goes, run in a zone 2 for a long ass time, and I'll get clapped in a CrossFit workout right now." That's funny.
anyways, I don't think it's beneficial. I think if you have a lot of time, I certainly write zone 2 stuff for people frequently, right? Because I just want them to put like Sean said, like just he needs time with feet on pavement, right? Of just being upright, and because he's running a half or an ultra, a 50 miler, right? So
It's
like
different. He's training for sport.
right, exactly, and he's using that for volume tolerance, right? Because while it again, like you can be so great example, Sean is using a zone 2 effort, which is just a low heart rate effort, to put time on his feet. But why would the time on your feet be beneficial? Because it's not recovery, because it's actually training and building stress tolerance to running 6 hours, right? Or 7 hours or 8 hours or however long it's going to take.
And he's doing that for a race.
Yeah, 50 miler.
So it's different. You said that you actually program zone 2 frequently. Is that what you said?
For for people finishing their week, like usually on Saturdays because the session is short, and I'm just like, okay, you can go run, just don't run hard. Because their week is done. I know they can't do anything, and they will go do something dumb.
Okay. So that's
It's just a filler. It's a filler.
for your like volume goblins that just need it.
Yeah. Because usually Saturday ends up being really short, and people like to use it to clear their head, right? They just enjoy running at a
Sure.
low effort for that time frame, and it's the end of the week. But I won't put it like in the middle of a training day or like on a Monday or a Friday, to like go into another thing. And frequently is probably a loose term. Frequently for some people. So
Yeah. Well, and I don't know. I feel like we've talked about this recently, and I talk about it pretty frequently, just about how like why are you picking up the tool of exercise, you know? And so like there are so many reasons why. Like obviously we should all be picking up the tool of exercise
mhm,
and using the CrossFit methodology to do it is what we believe. And then I talk to my clients all the time about like there are different seasons of life, and it's different if you're a athlete pursuing a specific sport result, then you have to be more disciplined in it. And then if you're not, then you get to just do the silly stuff. You know,
mhm,
if that's the season of life that you're in and you need to pick up that tool more frequently, like that's fine. Maybe it isn't
right.
going to increase your performance, but if it's going to give you better quality of life outside of it, then maybe it's more worthwhile in that season, in that moment, you know, and the flex
Mhm,
that happens with that over the course of time.
yep.
Anyway, unrelated to all of that, but one thing that is fun, I did go back this morning because, of course, we checked in last night, and I was like, I haven't prepared, but I'll hop on. 1.78 million, I think, is the number of views on the Rogue channel for the Rogue full day streams, as well as the streams that were just the men's and women's individual events for CrossFit
Mhm,
competition. So we've talked about like attention to, and then another thing I didn't have the chance to do, but I am genuinely curious to do, because of course, like in any sport, we've talked about a lot for the sport side of what we do. There needs to be money for it to occur, right? Like the sponsors need to be involved, etc. And then it was on, let's see what show. I think it was on Jake on the Base show, I
mhm,
think, where he was talking about Lucy Campbell and how she podiumed at Wadapalooza and Rogue Invitational and the games this year, you know, all in different spots. But that you put that together, and I definitely like, I don't want to get too far into her business necessarily because like good for her and all that, but also I'm like, you know, that's life-changing money for this season of her career.
Mm-hmm.
And then just, yeah, I think so. There were just a couple different thoughts about like, okay, so Rogue already is nearly at 2 million views to all of this competition. That's a lot of eyeballs on it. That's a lot of attention. And then also just thinking about how many competitions, you know, even this last weekend, there was one, the Beetle Extravaganza. Did you see that?
Was that the one that was in Puerto Rico that was programmed by Brute?
I thought that it was programmed, but no, you're right. Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, it did.
Because there was that one, and then there was Desert City Classic, and that one was programmed by Panchik, I believe. Is that
Mm-hmm.
right?
I
Yeah.
don't know who programmed that one, but you would know.
Okay, I think so. Anyway, Beetle Extravaganza. So like the first place finisher got 10K, and the second place got 5K, and the third place got 3K, right? And
Did Fee
so
and Ty win?
no, Hannah Black won,
Oh,
and
did she? Nice.
I think Ty got third.
Oh wow, good for her.
Yeah, and so those are not the same paychecks that you see at a Rogue at the games, right? By any means, but like seeing, I don't know. I mean, I know that I lean more and more into that world today because I get the opportunity to work in it. So I'm just really tapped into it. But I'm looking at all of these literal financial opportunities. And obviously, 10K is not like life changing, especially if you live in the United States because it's so expensive here. But like, that's a worth it trip for her, you know, like
Mhm.
that was worthwhile. Even I
Right.
would imagine the 5K would still made it worth it. Right. So, and the exposure and all of the, you know, the stuff that they can use for their social media brands and so on. So just paying attention to, I'm really looking forward to what 2026 has to offer for these athletes with the attention that is on the sport, clearly seeing a really solid uptick.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I agree. It's gonna be good.
So
It's
as much as we
gonna be a
sit
great
here
year.
and we speculate and get upset that maybe a bubble athlete is going to have a harder time getting to the games, and we'll see, right? Then it's also like, and yet the ecosystem as a whole has been like, life is being breathed into it. There are many affiliate owners such as Jake and Jan, or coaches that have been around for a long time, that are talking about how for years they got away from going to competitions and going to these conventions, and then in the last year they've leaned back into those, and they're like
Who said
such
that?
advocates for Jake and Jan, the
Oh,
base show guys.
mm,
Or they, I'm sorry, they have their outside the box, and then Jake does
right.
the base show.
Chase does the base
And
show and Savants.
yeah, and then they have their outside the box, which is on the Glinton Things podcast show channel, whatever. Anyway, they've been really being kind of loudmouths about their experience with like spending, they've been around for so long, and
Mm-hmm.
they got away from being around these in-person things, and then over the last year they've leaned into getting into them more, and how massively positive that has been for their own experience. And anyway, you're just seeing more of that, and I really like it because of course, like, I mean, you affiliate con, and like you did more this year than you've done in years past with events, right?
Yeah, and it's not slowing down. I mean, it's just going to be this is how it is. But that's also not a by choice. That's just where my career has shifted. But yes, um, yes, I have, and you know,
And you get to walk away from those experiences like feeling genuinely supported, and not like an alien, you know.
right. Yeah,
And as much as being an alien is fun, it's also really cool to like
yeah,
know people who understand what you're doing and can breathe life into that.
yeah. I feel like everyone who like has been like a steadfast and like a stronghold, like in the CrossFit, is feeling like it's like almost like hipster, like for you to like never have like shifted away, like it's like kind of it like wasn't the norm. You know what I mean? Like it just wasn't the norm for everyone to hold strong because everyone wanted to do their own thing and they got pissy about it and they kind of went away and now they're sort of coming back, but they're like coming back into the thing that we've never left, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Um,
I'm
they
here for it.
kind of feel like that of like a band where like we followed the band when they were playing at the backyard thing and now they're selling out crowd. You know what I mean? And now they're like selling
Yeah.
out selling out the SAP center or whatever it is, right? So I think it's cool. I think it's just going to continue to shift back. Um,
And I
um,
really think that the amount of people like through that experience, it really fortified. I mean, I know that I've talked as well about my experience of moving to Austin, Texas, right? And all I had experienced was the CrossFit ecosystem until I got here. And then I had the opportunity to experience the fitness world at a much broader range. And that was
right,
very eye-opening. And what it has done for me is affirm for me the belief in the methodology and all of those different things. It's been so special to get to experience that. And so then also like people coming back around, they've now gone and tasted other things.
right. Yeah. Very. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, they've
I
gone
just
out.
don't see it as a bad thing.
No, it's fine. No, it's good. I think more eyes, and then I think people are coming back into a like even a different framework from everyone at the top too, which I think is important, right? Like a lot of the things that push people away were like like I don't know, I don't want to say elitist, like but sort of like that elite behavior of HQ, of like protecting the trademark and all that sort of stuff. Like it was, it's nice that Greg's Greg's view, at least towards the end, was like, let's just grow the pie and give everyone their opportunity to take as much of the pie as they want, right? And it wasn't really that case early on, right? It was like it's our pie and you can run your affiliate, but like, they limited who got to be involved that wasn't paying an affiliate fee and they had to be the affiliate. And now, like they're like being friendly with like other things like WODprep, which is a great thing. You know what I mean? Like WODprep's not an affiliate. And so it's it's nice to maybe have like a little less fear of like getting like a cease and desist every other week from a post or something we accidentally didn't use or use CrossFit in some like seventh layer page deep down in our whatever, so um
Those those parameters still exist though in regards to like if you're not an affiliate, then you can still do the workout Fran, but be careful to call it
right. Well, I mean, they're
that in
definitely,
writing.
yeah, I mean, they've definitely lightened up on it in general. Um And so it's like we want to be an affiliate. We've tried for years and years and years, and there's just no opportunity to. So, um, but hopefully with our garage affiliates, we'll be able to make that happen at some
Um,
point.
Vicky, I love Vicky. Let me start there. We had a conversation yesterday, and I just really adore her. She said, "Oh, but Claire, according to the hybrid guy, CrossFit is just an extension of hybrid." She's referencing. Have you seen the Buttery Bros video, the about hybrid training?
No, you mean running and bodybuilding?
Uh, Basically, yes.
Yeah.
But they did a whole video. They came to Austin and did a whole video with a bunch of different characters here that are identify as hybrid athletes
Oh,
and what
like
that means to them.
Nick
And
Bear and all them, right?
I don't actually. Did they meet up with Nick Bear?
I mean,
They
isn't he
met up.
like Mr. Hybrid?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think that they definitely they met up with Adam Klink to discuss it. They met up with,
Mhm,
but of course he gives a lot of credit. Like he's still, he's a CrossFitter,
mhm.
and but then there's just a handful of other characters here and so anyway, it's fun because it's the community that I like exist in, right? And
Right.
anyway, it was yeah, it'd be fun for you to watch that video and
All right. Can you send it to
see what
me?
you think. Sure.
Maybe I'll put it on. Um, maybe I'll put it on um while I'm doing Chad in a couple hours.
Yeah, yeah, because I think that I don't want to. Let's just go with I'm doing this by memory, so this may be very flawed, but I think it was somebody wrote a book about what hybrid training is or something in like 2014,
Mm,
and so it's like CrossFit's been around obviously
right.
longer than that, but they're also technically by the definition they're not saying the same thing.
This is true.
If people say the word hybrid and don't know who Alex Viata is, let's see, where is that? She just hush. So maybe he's who wrote the book. I don't know.
Probably. Alex has wrote a lot of books on hybrid. I mean, he was Mr. Hybrid back in the early PhD guy, absolute freak, geared to the gills. Like, but like the shit he was doing was crazy. Like he had like a sub 5 minute mile at like
Hmm.
600-pound squat or some crazy shit like that. I was like, what the fuck? This dude is bonkers.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, that is crazy.
I'll have to watch it. Can you send it to me?
Yes.
Cool.
Vicky says, CJ, please watch it so I can hear you get all pissed off.
Get angry on my
Yeah.
step ups.
Well,
No, I have
I
to
will
keep a
say,
really calm heart rate on my stom Chad. I gotta like keep calm. I can't push it.
yeah, yeah, maybe don't watch it during that, to be honest. But I think you'll be all right. I think whatever the definition that was pulled there did say something to the degree of like there is specialization, right? So
Hmm.
that's kind of one of the things that I think does differentiate it. And as much as I certainly know individuals here that once upon a time identified as hybrid athletes that then got
Right.
annoyed that it seemed like all it meant was like you just have to be mediocre at a couple of things or whatever. And they were like,
Right.
okay, well that's not me anyway. So it's an
Yeah.
interesting thing. I don't know. But
Yeah, interesting.
I haven't read the book. I don't know.
I'm not gonna read the book. All right.
Here's what I
Uh,
know. I read the level 1 manual and I strongly agree with it.
a lot of it. Yeah, we're not biased.
Happy to be.
And so, right. All right. I got to get back to work before I do Chad because after Chad, I'm going to be useless for the rest of the day. So, I'm
Oh
going to
yeah,
run.
we're late for well, I mean we're late in general, but
Yeah.
did you start at 8:15?
No, I started at 8. You came on
Okay.
20 minutes late.
Oh, hey, I told you I was going to be at minimum 8:15 would be the
You
earliest I
did.
could be
I
on.
know. It's fine. I
Uh
forgive you.
what did you talk about for the first 15 minutes? I guess I'll go back and
Chad.
watch. Okay, cool. Okay.
Yep.
All right.
All right.
Well, hey, I just really enjoy everyone here. That's all.
Yeah, they're good people. It was a good show.
Yeah, this is just fun to be a
Yep.
part of.
Always. It's definitely a good one. No matter how unprepared we are, we just shoot the shit and it ends
Very.
up being great.
Someday we're gonna have a segment that's incorporated that we talked about that we just need to
Yeah, I
do.
know. Well, we just got to sit down and talk about it off the show. All right. I'm going to pee my pants. I got to
Yeah,
go.
let me know when you have time. Okay. All right.
See
See
you.
you guys
Bye.
later. Have a good day.